Welcome. Today is the starting day of week 7 and we will be covering data provenance, data lineage on the cloud. On the way, we will be defining the terms data lineage and data provenance and explain the role in data governance. What are the essential steps you have to follow in developing a data lineage? Also, we will discuss why data lineage and data provenance are more important in a cloud environment and what are the consequences for organizations not using the cloud. And furthermore, we will analyze and articulate what are the benefits and drawbacks for an organization moving to the cloud. So as usual, we will be covering readings and media, discussion board questions, quiz, and also some comments about working on global data breaches analysis assignment that's due week 7 this week, and certain observations for your individual assignment case studies that's due in week 9. And during this week, there are two types of discussion board questions, type A and type B, each of them having 2 questions. And you have to select one question from each of them and provide your position statement. And for a selection from A, you get 3 points. For a selection from B, you get 4 points, a total of 7 points. The remaining 3 points comes from your participation in the discussion board in discussing with others. These are the 2 questions under A, section A. Based on the arguments presented and your personal or professional knowledge or experience, where do you stand in the debate over cloud computing's future? What key factors or experiences inform your position? That is one type of the question from under A. The other one is security and privacy are important considerations in cloud computing. How do Linthicum's and Rogers' perspectives align with or contradict your understanding of security and privacy issues in the cloud? So those are the 2 questions. And the references are given for Linthicum's and Rogers' videos later on in this presentation. And they are also given in the reading materials and media materials in your section, module 7. And under section B, there are 2 questions. The first one is, in your own or your organization's experience with cloud computing, have you observed any shift in attitudes or strategies towards cloud adoption or rejection? And please provide specific examples to support your argument. That's, first question under B. Second question under B is, adopting or moving away from cloud services can signify a broader cultural or organizational change within a company. So how do you think adopting or rejecting cloud computing infrastructure changes an organization's culture or processes? Okay. Those are the discussion board questions. And I also want to touch on the global data breach assignment. There is a change in the total number of points that are allowed under the request from developer. There was some error in the relative weights given. So the developer asked me to make sure that I connect this point with you. It's not 100 points, even though it was stated as 100 points in the beginning. It is 65 points only, so that the rest of the things are properly adjusted. Okay, but this is a this is a team assignment, and it's about identifying a national or global data breach that occurred within the last 10 years. Although you may be most familiar with the data breaches affecting your home country, feel free to consider breaches originating elsewhere or impacting organizations in other nations or regions. Whatever the topic you choose, research it meticulously, cite and refer your sources in correct Chicago style, and communicate in your own words without plagiarizing. The length of this paper is a minimum of 4 pages, and as I said at the bottom, it says 100 points. No, it is 65 points. It's a team assignment nonetheless. Okay. So there is more detail about CMAS instructions in terms of how to follow CMAS, and that is what is given in this particular page. And you already know these things, so I'm going to pass this one. So the key readings are by Erurek Evren, et al. 2021 published, Data Governance, the Definitive Guide. Chapter 4 and 8 refer to this material in this week. Data governance over a data life cycle. That's where the provenance and the lineage come into play. Okay, and also monitoring the data governance. Google Cloud has published 2 other articles which are essential for this week. One is published in 2020, which is tracking provenance and lineage metadata for healthcare data, specifically about healthcare data, and the other one is principles and best practices for data governance in the cloud. There are 2 other articles. One is about guide to data lineage, best practices and techniques by Chandan Gaur, and data governance in the cloud from Dataversity, written by Paramita Ghosh. These are wonderful references, and I certainly encourage you to make sure that you get benefit out of these things. 2 important videos referred here. One is understanding data lineage by Rogers. The other one is David Linthicum, which is a lot more recent. Why companies are kicking cloud to the curb. Please watch those things. These are short videos. Okay. Short, even though it is 17 minutes and 10 minutes and so on. It's not that short, but okay. Please do listen to that. And the case studies are, there are 3 global case studies and one specifically referring to India. A novel visualization approach for data provenance, concurrency and computation journal, published in 2022 by Malak Yaziki and Actus Mehmet. The other one is Doing Data Science, a framework and case study by Harvard Data Science Review, and published by Ann Keller, Shib Stephanie, and Schroeder Aaron. Finally, there is another one published in 2022, Accountable Data, the Politics and Pragmatics of Disclosure Data Sets, published in the journal Transparency, coming from Republic of South Korea, and published by Lindsay Poirier. And then the 4th article, it's about India. It is Cloud Doctrine Impact on Cloud Adoption and Government Organization of India. Adoption, and it is published by Dingraj Sanjay and Kushagra. So coming back to basic definitions, provenance means where the data are coming from and who is producing it, so that you can reach out to them and clarify and restructure the data collection process if you want to, redefine data elements and so on. So provenance is the ownership and the origin. On the other hand, lineage is once the origin starts, what are its various things that happen to the data on the way all the way from data generation to data usage, data management, data engineering, and prediction. All those things at every stage, data goes through some changes, and tracking that is what is called the data lineage. And the important thing is unless we know fully well what is going on with data element that you acquire and who is owning it, who is, what is the generation process, starting point, and how it is generated, and how it goes through various transformations on the way for various purposes and usages, it's very difficult to really appreciate and get hold of the quality of data and management of data, as well as reach out to right people to address any new opportunities that can be generated from data. So to understand data lineage, so this picture shows that, source is data system 1, where data system objects are created, transformed, and sent to the target data system object. Again, that becomes a data system object when it becomes a target. So this is kind of very simple way where there could be multiple steps here. Even though only one step is covered here. So data lineage maps a source onto a target, So this is okay. I'll be modifying this slide because I feel that it could be done better. So for now, I'm going to pass this one. And the important thing is that lineage is about what happens to the data at every stage and keeping track of that. And on the other hand, provenance is about what is the origin, who owns the the origin of the data, and so that we can track back and take advantage of some opportunity areas in data usage. But important thing is are there software tools available for data lineage and data governance tools? And here are some articles for you to read about the tools that are relevant for data lineage and also for data governance tools. Okay, data governance tools are Enterprise Dictionary, which is usually called Data Dictionary, but now it is called Enterprise Dictionary. It's everything about the data elements. It's data characteristics and what are the minimum and maximum values, whether it's a row, whether it is a character or string, and what is the range of values, what is generally the mean values, and some statistical measure of the reliability of the data. The other one is key management and inscription that are used for the elements and classes so that decryption can be followed without any error. Third one is identity and access management for data, including user authentication, also called IAM, commonly used in cloud. And organizations should have data retention, data deletion rules and policies. And finally, data quality and metadata management should be part of the data governance. Metadata is data about data. Okay, so in a sense, some of the elements of data dictionary, the Enterprise Dictionary, are actually metadata, but it goes beyond that. For example, the data provenance details are part of metadata that don't usually come under dictionary. Okay, and also if the machine is generating the data, the characteristics of the machine, including as simple as the year the machine was produced, for example. Okay, so all those things are part of metadata, and certainly understanding metadata is extremely powerful, useful, and a very important part of data management and data governance. These are the there are two documents here in this slide and two videos. These are shorter compared to the previous ones. The two videos are the following topics. The latest one, 2 days back published. Is this how AI might destroy humanity? BBC World Service, YouTube, 8-minute video. And the other one is 2 months back published, Shady World of Surveillance Pricing. Both are videos, shorter videos. And then the two documents are the source report for the above video is also coming as a document. That's what the first PDF is. That is a second link. And the fourth link is, again, it's a text document. Here is why so many US tech workers pretend to use AI in the job. Okay, so these are all references that are useful to understand the data governance status as of recent developments. And next week we'll be covering principles of cybersecurity, roles of cybersecurity officers and personnel, roles of automation and technology for oversight and compliance, and legislation relevant to cybersecurity. So this is my very short video for this week, and I will also be evaluating the all these the previous weeks, some of the previous weeks discussion board, as well as your latest assignment submission. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.